So I made an open source Raspberry Pi based synthesizer for about $75 equivalent. Probably could have made it cheaper if I'd done more of the assembly myself. And I wanted to show you it working with the tracks because I'm so pleased with how it sounds. What I've done is basically there's a whole subculture of open source Raspberry Pi based synthesizer modeling that seems to go on, and I think what we've got to remember is that Korg, Ableton, a few other manufacturers are already producing hardware based synths that somewhere deep in their core have got a Raspberry Pi, and I thought it was about time to dip my toe into this water. And I guess the other driver for me is that recently I've been doing some 80s and 90s songs, which very much is an era when the Yamaha DX-7 was one of the key synthesizers, and many of the tracks that I'm doing have got at least one or two synthesizer parts that are very DX7-ish. I've been so far using samples and software emulation and sampling loops to try and fill that gap, but I thought, why don't I actually build something that'll be a great little friend for the Circuit Tracks and the Ableton Move, and I'll actually emulate those patches. And I've been using this particular version of a Raspberry Pi box, which is basically customized to run a software called MiniDEXED that can run up to 8 instances of a DX7 type emulator, run them in parallel, so you can basically have 8 separate sounds with full polyphony. I'd need to check this, but I think it does about 200 voices in full. And what I'll do is I'll record some B-roll showing the inside, so you get to see that as well. So maybe I'll show that now and I'll come back in a second. So basically what we've got here is the version of the MiniDEXED that I bought. I actually bought it as a pre-assembled kit, but essentially it's an open source project. Both the hardware and the software are open source and readily available online. I'll send you some links. This particular one I bought pre-built because my soldering skills are not up to it, and I've basically got the top undone just so you have a chance to see inside. And essentially what it is a printed circuit board with a hi-fi DAC, MIDI DIN in and out, so it's an ideal companion for the Circuit Tracks. But what I've got in here is a Pi 02, which is fast enough to run a open source software model that basically can emulate 8 DX7 type synthesizers all running in parallel as a multi-timbral box. And the display is small, but there's enough control on it basically to set the thing up. And essentially I bought it pre-assembled, so all I had to do was plug in the Pi. There's a software distribution image that's available for the SD card. There was minimal setup to get it working with the display, and basically here it goes. And I'll pop the lid back on and give you a bit of a run through how it sounds. Now, I'm essentially working on a current track, and maybe if I don't mention the name, perhaps I won't get copyright striked for doing this, but it uses a very clear opening few bars of a sound from the DX7 called Bass 1. You've heard this sound multiple times, so I've got it currently running from synth 1, which is giving MIDI channel to this, so again the audio is just coming from here. If I play a little bit of the bass line, you'll get an idea as to what the song is. No prizes for guessing. I've even recorded a little bit of a sequence, so let's push our luck. And you can see it's actually quite a realistic representation. It even will do compression and reverb on top, which you can vary that. You probably can't see this from this shot, but a tiny little screen which even will let you edit the patches. I'm not about to do this. I think to begin with, I'm going to be using preset patches that you can literally copy onto the SD card and use them that way. So how about I show you a little bit more? So as I said, you can run up to 8 instances of a DX emulator on this. So I've actually put a different instance on each MIDI channel. So MIDI channel 2, I've put some strings. MIDI channel 3, I've put a bell-like sound. MIDI channel 4, I've kind of done an archetypal DX electro piano sound. So I've done a short sequence just to kind of demonstrate those running all at the same time, and as I say, just the audio is being recorded here. So here goes. So what I'm hoping to do is run the audio out from this into the circuit tracks. I'll finish off the rest of the track and basically subscribe to the channel and keep an eye out for when it comes up, and hopefully you'll recognize the MiniDEXED Raspberry Pi box when you hear it. Thanks for tuning in, and I hope some of you found this interesting. I'll post links down below for all the open source things that I've used to assemble this, and hopefully I might have inspired one or two of you to have a play with this yourselves. Okay, take care. Bye bye.